Everyone, and welcome back to Alan's World Extra. So today we are going to be talking about the Nerf Stampede ECS. Yeah, so I'm just going to move this camera up a little bit. That's a bit low for me. There we go, that's a little better. Okay, so this is the ECS, stands for Electronic Clip System. So as you see on there, it's got a clip which we call a magazine in our country, but Americans, where these come from, they call them clips sort of on there. So it's a magazine fed system. It's also battery operated as well. So on this video I'm going to go through a few little checks and also the equipment you should be looking at getting if you're going to sell this complete, or things to bundle up with it to make a good sort of deal, and some rough estimate prices of what I've sold for these in the in the past. I've sold a few of these in my time of actually selling onto there. So but luckily this one I've picked up the last few days came with a box. It wasn't all complete, but I picked another one up today as well. So I'm lucky that this one is actually going to be going out inside a box. The hardest thing is when selling, especially some of the Nerf blasters, is the sheer size of them, is trying to find a box big enough but not too big to be stupidly big in the post service. So getting a box with this haul was actually very, very handy on there itself. So as it says on here, this is a electronic system. Let's just grab another one so you can see what I'm on about. So the system itself holds the batteries in the very back. To test the batteries you need a Phillips screwdriver, unscrew the top one and the bottom screw, and you need to pull out the slide tray, which is one of these. When looking inside the slide tray, you can see it takes 6 D-cell batteries. So it's quite an expensive blaster to use, and they don't actually last that long at all, I've noticed. I think I can probably get through 4 belts of magazines and then I'm changing the batteries on there itself. So they are quite expensive for batteries, but it is a fully automatic weapon. It recocks itself, reloads itself every time. All you got to do is hold the trigger down and it'll just keep firing until it runs out of ammunition. A few things to be aware of though. If you have got batteries inside it, you've got the magazine, it's loaded. If I put the magazine in on now, you've got the 2 switch buttons on the side on here. And the position at the moment, it's on to off, so if I squeeze the trigger, it does not fire. If I push it onto down, if I squeeze the trigger now, I'm going to shoot a round into the next door neighbour's garden. I need to jump over the fence to pick it up, so I'm not going to do that from this angle. But this here is the ejection open device. On a real weapon system, it ejects around sort of empty cases, but on this one, it's like a safety function. You can see on there, it's got a little green bit. If it's slightly ajar, it's orange, and that means now if it even is on, I can't squeeze the trigger. Yeah, so you need to make sure if I push it fully forward, yeah, if you hear that, it's going to fire off a round. So that's just bear in mind. If you put new batteries inside it, you put a magazine with rounds inside it and it's not firing, just check that little bit on there just to push it forward to make sure it is actually got rounds inside it. It's got an inbuilt sighting system all the way down there, so you've got the rear sight and the foresight, so you can look all the way through, or you can add attachments to the top, different sights and that sort of thing. So that is the blaster. When it comes to clip systems, originally in the box it came with 3 of these. So it came with 3 18 dart magazines. You know they're 18 because they say 18 on them. So you got 3 18 dart magazines, and it also came with 1 6 dart magazine. There's a reason for this sort of on there, which I'll come to very shortly. Inside the box, it also came with a blast shield. Yeah, so when you're playing Nerf wars, the darts usually only count when they hit your body. So, or to protect your face, or if you've got things you don't want to, you've got no glasses on, you can protect your face, you can have that in front of you. This little squeezy thing on here mounts on the top and just sits on the top rail. If I can get it on. There we go. So it fits on the top rail, so now you can look through and you can look for your sight. You can look for your sight down there, or you can look for the top and look at your forward shot. So you've got those little bits on there as well. That's really good for running around. So if you're running around like this, you can have your 18 dart magazine and you can run around and you've got some nice little shots going over. But it also comes with a bipod as well, which goes onto the front of it. The bipod flicks up, you push the button on the rear, the legs come down. The problem with this is when you go down to what we call the prone position, you see on there the magazine is higher than the feet itself, so it can't actually sit down properly. So because to counteract that, they gave you a 6 dart one. So in the prone position you've got some 6 darts, so you can fly onto there. It's not then really, you don't have a lot of ammo to play with them, but you've got that system on there itself. The other thing which some came with and some didn't is a sling. So this one didn't come with this sling, come with a different one, but I picked one of these up a while ago. It's always quite good if you can, is to have an official Nerf sling. It always looks a little bit better on your shots. Yeah, I've got the Nerf sling on here, especially when it's quite a heavy weapon. You've got some kids who are not too small, it's got the 6 on there. So that means they can have the gun on here, and then it's like firing from the hip. And if you see on there, it's sort of standing, and I can sit there and go, get some! Yeah, and I can just fire from the hip, which is just over there, which always looks really, really good as well. Nice and easy sort of fire. It's like a little machine gun you're sort of firing over. It's quite fun to hold, quite easy to play with. We've also got some extra dart clips on there so you can reload along the way if you haven't got anything. So that is what it came with, sort of on there. The next thing I'm going to go through now is some of the range tests, like I always do some of these videos, to give you some idea of how far these things actually fire. I'm going to do this with 2 types of darts today. It originally came with the normal Nerf darts, which are the yellow ones. But later on in life, Nerf done some elite ones. They're more slimline, they fly faster and they're more accurate. These are not the original ones. I buy all mine from China. I'll put a link down below of where I get all my Nerf darts from. I get them for pennies. So, and it also came with 60 darts. So this blaster came with 60 darts. So I'm now going to do 2 range tests. I'm going to fire 6 darts with the original darts. I'm going to fire 6 darts with the ones I sell out. The distance I'm standing here, to me to the first lamppost is 22 foot, and then beyond that I've got to take measured over down the grass. So what I always do, I always list it with the highest shot, the lowest shot, and the mean point of impact, so where most of the majority of the shots actually land. So when people get these things, they've got some idea of how far they're firing sort of on it, but it also depends on the battery strength at the same time as well. So you've got to take that into consideration. So, that's enough said. Let's have a look and see how far this goes. Okay, I'm going to fire it from the shoulder position, so they're accurate. This is a flat trajectory, so every single one's going to have the same fair shot. So 6 shots. So 6 shots fired on that one. Now let's change the magazine over. Blue ones. Fire another 6 shots. There we go. So that's that done. Let's go quickly see how far this thing actually fired. So the original ones didn't even, the mean point of impact was around about 20 foot. The lowest one was around about 18 foot. The highest one was at 24 foot. So that's there. The lowest shot of the blue ones was 24 foot. The highest shot was 32 foot. The mean point of impact was 30 foot. Yeah, so you can see there's a big difference between the 2 sides. So therefore for that I'm going to send out the blue darts to make it a little bit better for the buyer. What I do with the yellow ones, I just bag them up, and at one time when I've got about 200 of the things, I'll just bag them up, job lot them off on an eBay listing. But that's it. So that is my test today of the Nerf Stampede ECS. Thank you very much. If you like this, put that like down below. Any comments, or if you found things before? Wrong. I just remembered. I forgot to say how much I'm selling this thing for. Right. If you're selling it without the bipods and just with one magazine, Yeah, sort of like this sort of thing, what most people sell it at, you can get around about £24–25 for it. With the bipod, again, and a couple of magazines, you're looking at about £25 to £30. With everything, which I've got here, I've sold mine for £36 to £40, but all 3 times I've sold it for. So that is what I'm aiming for this one, because I'd like to hit the maximum sort of thing. But you can break it down. If the gun doesn't work, you can get £9 plus postage just for the shield. With a magazine, you can get around about £12 just for one magazine, sort of on here. And the 6th one, you look about £6–7 for that. Bipod, another £8 for the bipod. The battery pack, another £6 for the battery pack. The sling, another £7 for the sling. So yes, you can make a little bit more money by spending it all as little individual bits, but if you just want a nice big job sort of sale in one go, yes, I paid £35 for 4 blasters today. So one sale, this one gun is going to sell for everything, and others going to keep going. But that's that. I'm going to write this down now, get this photoed, get it on, and get it sold the next 48 hours. But thanks again. See you later. Bye for now.